Newsy news. Good morning, everyone. My name is Onepeg, and in today's video, we're going to talk about Dark and Darker. See, there's the possibility that Dark and Darker may have, stolen some assets, possibly an entire game from Nexon. So this morning my time anyway, a Korean staff blogger by the name of Woody posted an article on the popular gaming site This Is Game that stated that Dark and Darker may have been created from stolen assets from the gaming media megacorporation Nexon. To be fair, this entire article was written in Korean, and I'm using Google Translate to the best of its ability to translate this, but for the most part, I think the translation is accurate and you definitely get the idea. And for those unfamiliar, Nexon is a Seoul, South Korea-based company that is most famous for having created the game MapleStory. Although Nexon has developed a large series of other games, all of them, for the most part, are gacha games. They're games that are derived from taking money for premium currency and whatnot, skins, all of that other stuff, trying to incentivize all of us into going in as whales into whatever game it is that they've been producing. Before I get into the meat of this video, though, I want to be very clear that there are no sources, actual sources, being cited in the article. They don't reference anyone at Nexon, they don't state that they have a source at Nexon, and they do not link to any external source. They don't even state that they had a conversation with anyone at Nexon or anyone close to Nexon, or provide any other media than a few screenshots that were taken from a games showcase that was teasing a project from August 2021. Also, while I have attempted to reach out to Terry, the CEO of Ironmace Games, as well as a couple of other developers that I've been working closely with at the development team over the course of the various playtests, I have not been able to reach or gain comment from any of them about this, and given the time of day that I'm recording this, it's likely that they are kind of going off to sleep right now. You know, they've been working, 30 and 40-hour days at a clip trying to make sure that the server stayed up, so I don't blame them for trying to get some sleep. Okay, on to the article. The author states that the majority of people that are working for Ironmace Games right now, developing Dark and Darker, are from a mass exodus of employees that at one time worked for Nexon on a project coined Project P3. The article alleges that the developers were disenfranchised with being told to stop development on what is being coined as Project P3. The article then states that in March of 2022, there was an interview that was done with an executive at Nexon where the executive stated that Project P3 had been halted and shifted its development away from Project P3, which was being designed as some form of a dungeon crawler, where in the screenshots you can see that it looks relatively similar to that of Dark and Darker, to a project called or coined as P7, which was being developed to be a Tarkov-like shooter experience. The article went further to say that in September of 2021, Nexon posted a job listing looking for someone that specialized in data gathering for tactical movement and firearms handling, between how the firearms were supposed to be held in the hands to posture, moving between cover, etc. This coincides with the idea that the project was shifted away from, again, a dungeon crawler experience to something that was much more Tarkov-like. Now, if we line this up with timing, the article states that the corporation for Ironmace, according to corporate filings, was created in October of 2021, shortly after this job posting was made. So this at least seems like it has a little bit of merit. The article then goes further to say that the development team that had been working on Project P3, which now was moving to the Tarkov-esque P7, became jaded with having to move away from that project, which they apparently deemed to be something that would be successful for Nexon, and instead started leaking assets from P3 that they had been working on to the outside, going so far, I guess, as to have been caught in some of these instances and disciplined, again, according to the article. I know that I keep saying according to the article, but again, this is literally the only source that exists, and there are no other sources listed, so I apologize. Subsequently, the article also states and believes that the core team of P3 has either all quit or been fired, and following that event banded together to create Dark and Darker. It also says that there are some members of that core old P3 team that are still working for Nexon on Project P7. Why they went so far as to say that, I'm not sure. Perhaps that is the source that they are getting the information from. Finally, the article states that Nexon has reviewed the possibility of taking legal action against Ironmace, but has been contemplating on what it is that they could or should be doing. Now, if, of course, Nexon has the ability to prove that Ironmace has actually been the people both leaking the information and utilizing the assets to their own benefit, that has yet to be seen. But if they can do that, perhaps then they obviously have some legal ramifications that they could take against Ironmace, but I think we all can agree that that would be a big shame. So to this, I have a few thoughts. To the folks at Ironmace Games, and I hope those guys, if they are watching this, have stuck around long enough to see this from me. We love you guys. Everyone that I talk to thinks that you guys are fantastic game devs and you're doing everything that you are doing for us as gamers and for your game all the right way. We think that you guys are creating something unique, fun, frustrating, engaging, and addicting in all of the right doses. Personally, I know that if I get killed in a game like this, I get frustrated, but not to the point of wanting to quit. I get frustrated in that I want to build back up as fast as I possibly can to get back to the thing that I'm trying to beat. And the struggle bus is where I have always tried to remain as a gamer. I like the growth curve, having to build myself up again. Once you kind of get there, it's boring, you know? Second, if what was said in the article is true, honestly, good for Ironmace. I don't condone stealing, obviously, but this has a very Robin Hood-esque feel to it, where Terry and SDF and their band of merry men are trying to take on and beat the media conglomerate that is fleecing everyone for all of their pennies. On their own website, the Ironmace site states that they're tired of companies fleecing people for all of their money, or being run like online casinos, or selling their souls for an easy payday. We all know that Nexon would have stuffed as many microtransactions into the gamma container of this game as they possibly could, trying to milk every gamer for every penny that they could possibly squeeze out of them. And that would kill the charm that this game has created for so many. Third, it's very possible that Ironmace is going to have a legal battle on its hands. And if so, I hope they come out of this as unscathed as they possibly can. Because the last thing that we need as gamers is another decent indie game dev losing directorial control to another Activision fleece machine. I'm looking at you, Bungie. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for this one. Thanks so much for coming and checking it out. My name again is Onepeg. You can find me at twitch.tv/Onepeg, where I stream every day around 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, please consider subbing the channel here or follow me on Twitter at OnePegMG. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace.